Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. Children, we were talking about the availability of the mineral resources in Telangana region. We classified the minerals as the renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Today, let us learn to whom does these minerals originally belong to. Do they belong to the particular person? Do they belong to the government? Or do they belong to everyone? So, to whom do they belong? Minerals usually occur in the deep of the earth, okay. They in fact do not belong to the single owner or to a particular owner, even though you own the surface land, but minerals doesn't belong to a single owner, but belong to the entire people of the country, and it is the wealth of the nation, and having to be used for everyone's interest and for the development of the country. We need to use these resources which are available here in the nation. That is why the mineral wealth of a state is considered the property of the state or the government, and the government uses the minerals keeping in mind the interest of all the people of the country. So that minerals are used for the development of all the people in general and for the development of the nation, because it is a wealth of or property of the state government or the country's government. At the time of independence also, children, mines were mostly owned and operated by private owners and private companies. The method of ownership was different, and these minerals and mines were owned by many of the private people at the time of independence, and there were also many companies which has the ownership over these mines, and they used to extract the ore for their own benefit in order to make profit, and they had made much of the profit in a short time. They did not care about the proper development of the mines and about the safety of the workers also. It was in 1970s the government took over all the mines into the hands of the government by Indira Gandhi government. They had taken over under the control of the government, and it owned and operated most of the mines and sold the minerals also to various factories, and traders are exported them to the other countries, and they made a lot of money, and that money was again spent on the development of the country. So mining, so that there is no over exploitation occurs, they also take care of the safety of the workers in the mine. And in fact, when it is under the control of the government, then government decides how much to be exploited and how much should be kept as a reserve. So it could ensure that the important minerals like fuels, especially precious metals, were mined for public benefit only. If even though mine is there, but if it harms, like for example in Nalgonda we have vast resources of uranium, but we are not extracting that uranium because it may pose a big danger to the pollution and to the people living in the nearby areas. For that reason, extraction of uranium is prohibited there. They were under the control of private companies before that, and however the government was not able to bring in new and more sophisticated technologies in mining, and it was not able to survey and find out about new deposits of the minerals also. Thus production of minerals got stagnated in the country, because once it comes into the public into the government hand, government tries to implement the new technologies very lately. They learn very lately and they implement it. As a result of that, mineral extraction got completely stagnated, and some of the mines are completely closed down. New mines were not identified, and there is a necessary for the government to allow the private companies for mining the minerals and sell them. Subject to the regulation and control of the government, they are slowly privatizing the mines, and a few of the coal mines are also privatized now. There was a big coal scam, you remember? During the UPA government, there was a big coal scam that was relating to the auctioning of the coal mines zone. A new national mineral policy was announced in 1993, and the government allowed private companies to lease mines and to operate them. And you know about Gali Janardhan Reddy of Karnataka, who mined the iron ore at Ballari and made huge wealth. So it was a illegal mining. The lease area was little, but he extracted from the nearby areas also, and he accumulated lot of wealth The companies were to pay the royalty to the government for mining, for selling these minerals they extracted and sold, and in this way the government could retain the regulatory or the control over the mining industry, and they get income from them, and at the same time they can also encourage private companies to use the new technology. However, the government continues the control of mining of all the minerals relating to the atomic energy, where the private companies were not given any lease or any kind of what we call authority to mine. As a result of this policy, there has been a boom in the mining industry for the last 25 years, and there has been a major increase in the number of mines in the country. The minerals mined and the employment in the mining sector also has got increased due to the new national mineral policy of 1993. On the other hand, there has been uncontrolled mining by the private companies also, and far in the excess of the permits given to them. As I was telling you the story of the Gali Janardhan Reddy, he was given only 50 hectares of the mining, but he continued the mining in more than 200 hectares. So this kind of uncontrolled and with the help of corruption, they could manage the officials, and there was no proper boundaries drawn in which area they have to mine. So as a result of that, the mining went on uncontrollably and they made huge profits. That is nothing but exploited, and that is also the loss to the national wealth, because mining is considered, minerals are considered as a nation's wealth. And the royalty paid to the government was little. Thus, the people to whom the minerals really belong do not get anything, and it can also be environmentally very harmful. For example, when more sand is mined from the riverbeds, it can affect the flow of the rivers flowing and causes flooding, and early drying up of the river also takes place because of over sand mining. Similarly, the new mining companies do not want to do underground mining as it costs more money, and instead they prefer open cast mining. Underground mining is digging a pit into the ground and constructing the track in order to bring out the mineral from the underground. That is a big process, and it is also expensive. But nowadays they started open cast mining. From the above of the surface of the earth itself, they keep on digging and bringing out the mineral that is very less expensive than the underground mining. This is much cheaper way of mining also, but unless the pit and mound of rubble which is created is properly disposed of, it can create serious environmental problems like choking of rivers. So, and environmentally there will be a huge imbalance occurs if you doesn't properly dispose this one. The rubble which has been, the mound of rubble which you create because of the open casting, if it is not properly disposed, then it also will create a lot of ecological problems. In next class, children, we will learn about the Singareni coal mines which are located in Telangana region, and how they extract the coal, whether it is underground mining or the open cast mining. We shall see in the next class, children. Until then, take care. Thank you.